Yes, indeed. It was the best pass I could ever have from the previous panel. Good morning, everybody. I think that we can talk many hours, many issues raised from Captain Harry, Captain Edwin, and Mr. James. RISK4SEA, for those who are not familiar with the platform, is a post-trade control analytics system. The system is has the aim to prepare and assess the ship owners about the next post-trade control inspection that their vessels will have, and created with the aim to improve, of course, the performance of the company. The performance, as Captain Edwin stated, is a teamwork. We have to assist people on board to have the best performing result during the inspections, to streamline the operations, and to minimize the operational expenses. Captain Harry stated that at the end of the day we need to make money in the industry, and this is the point. But we need to approach the whole story with in terms of the assistance of the seafarers. And we will close this presentation today with some lessons that must be learned. As stated earlier, rules are not uniform within the MOUs. There is a tendency to insist that we have common practices, common standards within the MOUs. Please check that we have something like 1,500 ports in Paris MOU, 650 ports in Tokyo MOU, 128 ports in the States, and 200 ports in Australia. You know better than me that we have a totally different approach in Ravenna than in Piraeus. We have a totally different approach in the east to the west coast of the US, the United States. Post-trade control inspectors have specific focus, as said, different mentalities, different approaches during the inspections. And of course, the post-trade control performance, post-trade control KPIs during the inspections is related with the ship, the manager, and of course the port. I am sure that you have seen several checklists out there, generic, more specific. Ships cannot be prepared with generic checklists. There is a tendency that we have, let's say, the top 20 deficiencies globally, take the checklist and prepare the vessel. Where your vessel is going to call Port of Hamburg, is going to call Port of Gladstone. I don't care what is going on globally. We need to focus on the specific ship type in the specific port. And of course, too many emails sent by several sources, several organizations, let's say, produce just noise and nothing of significance. We need to find the way to do it, in the proper way. We have 6,000 vessels being detained every 36 months. This is not impressive. The other one below is the impressive number, which says that 85% of these vessels had no other detention within the last 36 months. I am sure again that you have heard several times that we have substandard ships, we have bad vessels, that's why we have detentions. No, we have non-well-prepared vessels. We have the tendency to know everything. I call this port for the last 15, 20 years. I know what is going on there. We have several cases, very good companies, calling a port, and finally have a detention in the port. We have three objectives based on the post-trade control challenge in order of importance. Number one, we need to eliminate the detentions, which is non-negotiable. We cannot discuss if we want to have detentions or not. Number two, to minimize the deficiencies, and number three, to minimize the noises. In RISK4SEA, we employed a solution, we have a solution where we assess every single call that the vessels will have in the near future. We do a risk assessment for the vessel. In this assessment, we analyze, first of all, we have 35 parameters in this risk assessment. We analyze First of all, the inspection probability, how much possible is to be inspected in the port, the inspection severity, and the overall port call risk assessment of the vessel. And after that, of course, RISK4SEA provides a specific checklist for the specific vessel in the specific port. And all of that, of course, can work automatically, seamlessly, with no human interaction. Now you can see the 6 steps of this automated system. Number 1, we need somehow to import in the system next port of calls of the vessels. This can happen, as you can see, in several ways. We can use an API, we can monitor vessels through AIS systems. In some of the ship types, like container ships, car carriers, and cruise ships, we can, and this is the only system that can work, I will explain you why, we can use an Excel format file in order to upload in advance the calls of the vessels, meaning a container ships may have 1 or 2 calls per day, and there's no time to prepare the vessel. So if we know, we know the schedule in advance, so we can prepare the vessel many days prior the call. So for every single one of these calls that will be imported, we are going to number 2, Tora, and not now, an automated port call risk assessment will be generated from the system. And based on the results of this assessment, will be created alerts, something like notifications. If we set up, number 4, if we set up the system in the proper way, up to 5 recipients may receive an email that will say, vessel X that we are going to call Port of Singapore, you are due to be inspected. This is a checklist, including the detainable deficiencies, everything about the port. About the risk assessment, as said, is an assessment that includes something like 35 parameters. In this assessment, we can analyze the probability, the severity, and the overall port call risk assessment about the vessel in the specific port. And let's stay a little bit in this slide. Please take your time to check this one. We have 2 axes, as you can see. The vertical one, which is referred to the severity of the inspection, and the horizontal one, which is referred to the probability of the inspection. We have the same categories as MOUs characterize the probabilities of the inspections. Not expected, may be expected, and should be expected, horizontal one. And about the inspection severity, we have the not challenging, may be challenging, and most challenging. Okay, needless to discuss if we need, because these are the alerts that created by our system. Okay, we can have by 100% the control in each one of these boxes, meaning we can set up the system, and for each one of them, an email can be sent to the recipients that we will set up. Needless to discuss if we need to send something on the red ones, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, we have an inspection that should be expected, and the call will be most challenging. Please check, for example, number 9. 28% of the inspections are associated with number 9, and 42% of the detentions are also in this risk level, meaning a tough inspection and a high probability inspection and a most challenging port or situation. We can reduce the noise by not sending emails to all of them, meaning there is no reason, okay, I will agree with you if someone will tell something like that, that will not send an email to risk level number 1, risk level number 2 or 3. Please check that in risk level number 1, we have the 7% of the inspections, but we have also the 3% of the detentions. You understand that if someone has problems in a situation that an inspection is not expected, and the port has not detainable deficiencies within the last 36 months, if someone has problems in these ports, he might be the champion of detentions. But the issue is that we have some hidden areas, like risk level number 6. Okay. I would like to mention here that we have a not expected inspection, but the call is, the inspection severity is most challenging. I think that this is a dangerous situation because, okay, we have small probabilities to be inspected, not an open window date for inspection, low risk the vessel, the manager is a good performing manager in the area or whatever. But if the vessel will be inspected, because the inspections for the not expected areas is 18% on the horizontal one, but 7% for this level, the vessel may have problems in the port. So we need to advise them, because you know that the severity is in front of the probability during a risk assessment. It's better safe than sorry theory. So we can have the control in each one of these boxes. In that way, we can minimize the noise produced by several emails. Okay, we can select for which ones of these we will inform the vessel. And of course, we can set up a system that everyone who is involved with the post-state control preparation will receive an email about this inspection. Now, about the checklist. RISK4SEA checklist is properly prioritized. Let me explain you how it works. In order of importance, we start with the detainable deficiencies item in a port. After that, we have the concentrated inspection campaign items, if any active campaign exists in the area, and any deficiency code that the vessel and the manager may have in common with the port. This is what we do. Of course, the checklist can be fully tailored, meaning that a ship operator can add or remove whatever he wants or not. Sorry? Yes. Now, as said earlier, vessels cannot be prepared with generic checklists, and we cannot send emails about the preparation for the post-state control all day. You are going to call there, and you are going to call there, and you are going to call there, so take this checklist. The system cannot work like that. We have to focus. There are tools out there to assist us about it, so we need to assist people on board about a smooth post-state control inspection in the future. Vessels must be ready for an inspection anytime. We cannot wait for the last-minute preparation. We need to inform them anytime about the good situation of the vessel and the proper preparation. Now, all of the ports can be assessed, and it's very beneficial for you because you know what will happen during the inspections, and based on this risk level that we created, we can have the absolute control for every single one of the post-state control inspections that we will have. Of course, as said earlier, in that way, we can minimize the noise from all of these emails. And of course, you understand that an automated system may work faster, more reliably, of course, and less costly than a human, let's say, interacting platform or a human using the system. That's all from my side. Thank you very much. If you have anything to discuss, if you need something to discuss, I will be out there. Thank you so much.